Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of 30 Plus Click with Max and Yo Yo. We're so excited that you have decided to make it a date with us whenever you're listening to this. We're happy to have you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, we're going to be discussing friendship and friendship breakfast. As you know, if you're not Nigerian, you probably don't know what friendship breakfast is. Yo, do you want to talk to the non-Nigerian people about breakfast?
Well, so let me try. So breakfast,
It's not the
breakfast
one you have in the morning for sure.
absolutely is a code for something else in Nigeria. So breakfast is when somebody breaks your heart and they serve it to you. Sometimes it can be served in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Irrespective of when it is served, it is called breakfast.
I don't even know how we arrived on this slang, breakfast for heartbreak. It's just the absolute opposite of each other. But yeah, um, and today we have a story that we're going to hinge our conversation on. And yeah, so the story goes a guy and a girl are friends. A guy may have had a crush on a girl, but guy doesn't really tell the girl that he may or may not have had a crush on her. Girl ends up going to find someone else and have a prosperous, happy relationship and marriage. Guy who was forming bestie now feels hurt and slighted because girl has now gone on to leave. She's like rode off into the sunset with this other guy and he's hurt and broken. And so I guess what we want to talk about is setting expectations for your friendship. You know, the importance of vocalizing whatever it is you feel in your heart. And at this point, I'm going to open the floor for Yo-Yo to take it away.
All right. So to have friends is beautiful. And if you don't have one, please find one today. And also, if you have friends or if you have just one friend, please nurture it. Friendship is a wonderful thing. And if you have a good relationship with your friends, that is amazing because the currency you spend tomorrow is the quality of friends that you've been able to surround yourself with. So surround yourself with good friends. And if you're a bad friend, please repent and change their ways. Try to be a good friend. Okay. And so with friendship, I know there's so many expectations. Everybody has different thoughts. Everybody has different things they have in mind that they want from people. It can be different, right? And people in relationship, in romantic relationship, they would say love language. I think there should be some language for friends, right, Hamaka? What do you think, Max?
I actually think so too, because um, you need to know the different ways people are responding to you in a friendship. So, for example, with the story I told, to provide a bit more context, this person, the girl in the situation, you know, was more of a, I don't want to say acts of service kind of friend, but because I don't know if that's the word that would, translate in this situation, because I really do think that there needs to be some kind of like, language charts for like how to show up for your friend, in a relationship or in a friendship, I would say. While the guy was more of like I would say, what is the thingy? In this context, I think only acts of service would, reciprocate, would fit into this context. And so for her, when the guy in the relation or in the friendship was giving friendship services to her in terms of like helping her do this and that, for her it wasn't being seen as a big deal because that is naturally the way that she would show up for another friend. But I think from the guy's perspective, he was doing so with the hope of scoring some kind of points, right? And this brings me to the point that I want this, the segue that I'm trying to, get into is setting objectives for your friendship. I think one of the issues in this situation was a clear objective from the guy's point of view was not set. And he automatically, expected that once you do A, B, C, maybe the person would intuit that EDF needed to follow. But that's not necessarily how life works. What do you think?
So I think it's beyond this guy in question. I think it's generalized until you mature to the point where you see value in a friendship or relationship, you will still be at that point where you keep expecting from your friends, where you just stay at the point of expectation. Friendship is beyond what I can get from it. Friendship is beyond what I can offer. Friendship, it's beautiful. It's a relationship. It's like a rose. You just nurture it. So if you're that person in the friendship court, and all you care about is what they've done for me, or you're that point, you're that person that is giving something just to expect this in return. Well, I would not say you are doing wrong, but just verbalize it rather than thinking that that person is the Holy Spirit that knows your heart to know that, okay, if I help this person, if I give this person money, it means this person should love me. Hey, give her the money. She will never love you. If you want love, talk about it. You need to differentiate your kindness from love. And it is okay if she doesn't give you love in return, if he doesn't give you love in return. And if it is love that you're expecting from a relationship, friendship in quote, talk about it. Expectations has to be discussed. Expectations cannot be linked with gestures. You need to talk about it. And that way you can have a beautiful friendship.
And I think that is so true. And I'm not even going to bother to add, to that because you've really captured everything about this situation. But then I wonder, I guess I want to ask, and maybe, why is it that friendship breakfast are even more painful than relationship breakfast? Because this matter, we still the judge am.
So, well, you know, I'm a fan of perception, right? What people perceive, it takes time for perception to be removed. And so if you've been perceiving all this long while in a friendship relationship thingy that this person likes me, or maybe because she smiles that way and she likes me, and you just go to bed and keep in your heart, this person likes me. This person, that's how she's smart. She doesn't like you. And so the reason why it's a little bit more painful is because you did not see it coming. In a relationship, you know it's 50-50. You know, there are stages in romantic relationship. Is a guy, it can grow to when it can propose or it can quench. And so back in your mind, you're expecting some form of breakfast. But as friends, there's no in your wildest dream, there is nothing like breakfast, right? And so, but these days, I even saw on social media, there are two ladies that were so much of a good friends. They just served themselves breakfast. And so it hurts, right? And so because the expectations are not discussed, and because these perceptions are not unveiled, and because these I do this thing for this person so that I can get this in return, and it's not discussed. And so all these build up and it's build up and it build up and it gets to that point where it just crash. And that's why the pain, right? It's a little bit hard to move on.
I think as you were talking, I was taken back to secondary school, and this book, or was it even a poem? I don't remember, but I'm remembered by I keep on I keep on remembering the I don't know if it's a book or a poem, but it's titled Cesare Bance's The Road Not Taken. I
Mm.
think it's a poem. And I think that explains why friendship breakfasts are so painful, because it's the road not taken, but the road hoped for.
Mm.
Do you understand? It's
Yeah.
like when I never went outside, never travel go down. But like you don't dream, build castles everywhere. And so it's like when you end up coming down to earth, it's like for your castle, everything crashed. Bah, it's like, oh Lord. I think that's why friendship breakfasts are a little bit more painful because it's really the road not taken. Because every time as we travel through life, we find ourselves, at a juncture. And every time we have to make a decision to go left, to go right. Sometimes we choose to go right. I like this person in the story that I told, they chose to go right when their heart really wanted to go left, and when everything unraveled the way it did, they regretted the road not taken. Had they had the courage, to speak out earlier, maybe she probably wouldn't be dating this other guy and ended up marrying the person. Had they had the courage, had they had the courage to speak up, maybe, they would have 2 years, 3 years that, they spent pining for this person would have materialized into something beautiful. Who knows? Who doesn't know this things? It's the road not taken. It's the had it been. It's the coulda, woulda, shouldas, of it all that makes it even more devastating. But yeah, we say all of this to say, when you work in a friendship, you know, for me, my principles for friendship is to do to others what I want others to do to me. I try to not really expect too much. I try to show up for the person in the best way. And this leads me to my next segue. As a friend, people should not be too comfortable coming to talk about your friend with you.
Mm.
I think that's something we need to say that. I didn't know we need to, but we need to. Like as a friend, people should not be too comfortable, no matter how nuanced it is. People should not be too comfortable. Because then what does that say about your disposition, right? The reason I say this is as we see the judge this matter, they go. A lot of parties have now come into the mix. And I find myself like listening to like all the people that have heard about this story and have, given their 2 cents. And they're supposed to be friends of this person and this other person and question, da da da. My point is, as a friend, someone should not be too comfortable talking about your friend with you because then I think that says a lot more about you in that moment than it says about your friend. I don't know if that makes sense.
So, well, when you were talking, I just remember what my mom would always do. So, if you come to our house then and you're a stranger and you go to my mom and you're speaking in my dialect, my mom would interpret it in the presence of the stranger and say, "This is what she's telling me in my dialect. Whatever you have said, whether you're talking about the visitor or not, she would interpret it bash and say, speak English because she cannot hear you." So then we're like, why is she doing this? But now looking back, I see that she wants to maintain some standard of transparency so that that person will not end up thinking, oh, are they talking about me? Oh, what did they say? Don't give that person any iota of doubt. So if you're a group of friends, just nip it. If somebody is coming to talk about A or B, you know, it's not nice. And if you nurture it because you are this person that wants to be like the mother of all and you want to be the superior, or you just feel good that people talk to you, everybody come around and they talk to you, and then you don't set boundaries, and you keep asking questions. Why are you asking questions? Why are you promoting that conversation? Why are you trying to stretch it? What do you want to hear? Trust or distrust is just one tiny line. Why not
Mm,
make it open? Oh, let me call this person into this conversation and let's have a three ways conversation. Let's just clear the air. That way, you would earn more respect than having to now be explaining later. Because See, it's very hard, right, to see people that will not prolong gist with another, this is not true, but you're just
Mhm.
using some adjectives so that the gist can come out. And then the painful thing is that person walks away thinking that you are on my side. And when that person is not there, then you now turn her back again. You're now hearing another side of gist. And now the two people involved think that you're on their side. What are you trying to gain? Right? And so it's all our responsibility as friends to make it very, very transparent. It's all our responsibilities as friends to promote peace. And as much as you can, promote peace, right? So that would also help friendship.
Honestly, I totally agree. Like, for example, I think I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, maybe, and the person was going to say, "Oh, your friend did this and this," and I was like, "Da da da, shut down, shut it." Who did Zuzu? It's like you shouldn't be this comfortable. No, 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 no. Shut it. Shut it. No, no. Stop it. Like literally killed it, dead on arrival. And I think that that's what makes, because like I'm not going to be gossiping about my friend behind her back. It's not, it's just not going to happen. That's not how we roll. So I do think that this is something that we should take away as we go. Being a good friend means standing on business for your friend, even when they're not there. Like, even when there's nobody to see it, even when there is no rewards to be had, making sure that people know that it's not okay to do certain kind of things, and yeah. But the point we wanted to make by bringing this conversation to the channel was in certain in friendships it is very important to set expectations. If you have other hidden things that are in your heart that maybe you might want to speak out, have the courage to see them. Rejections might happen, but that is okay. We move on. But if you do say them and rejection don't happen, hey, the road not taken becomes the road taken. So you might end up getting, something good out of it. But at the same time, when you're doing things for your friend, you know, please don't do them with the expectations that things will happen this way or the other way or whatever. Just do them because you love them, because they're your friend, and because you're a good person. But also, and finally, I would say, don't make it comfortable for people to come talk about your friend with you. That's just not how we roll in the 30 plus click. But yeah, that has been it for this episode. Have you ever experienced friendship breakfast? Share it with us. We want to hear it. But until next time, have a good evening.
Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for following us. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. We really like that. We appreciate you so much. And we also want to ask you, share our click, follow us on our YouTube. We have some shorts video for you and you will really like it. So we connect next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care.
Bye.